Hello, I wanted to show you a new plugin that I made and a little thing that you have to do before you get it to work. So the plugin is called Fancy Convolve, and it's a convolution reverb. And before you get it to work, you're going to need to do a little thing. So first we're going to search for Hiss Max MSP Tools on Google, and then it should be pretty much the first one that comes up. It's thehiss.org. Hit that, and then we're going to go over to Downloads, Software, and here we go to the Hiss Tools Impulse Response Toolkit Convolution for the Masses, and you download this bad boy. Now, when you're done downloading this guy, we're just going to unzip it and we're going to put it in the library where Max can see the files. So let's take a look in here, and you're going to want to take the one that's for your operating system and the help files, the hell with the README and the license, who gives a shit, and you're going to want to go over to your documents and to Maya 7 into your library, and you're just going to want to paste it here. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it, but they're here, and as you can see there's a couple new objects that are going to be available to you, and they're really good. They're really good for convolution and some other stuff. So now, when you load in my fancy convolution, since I'm not legally allowed to include that object, I just made a script to, that you can have it here, and then when you want to, when you have it downloaded and in your library, then you just hit Add Multi-Convolve. Just hit it once. That's it. That's all. When you save your project, it's going to save in there that you already did it. You're not going to have to do it again. And that's it. That's all. So let's load in an impulse response and take a listen to what it sounds like. Here's our drum loop just by itself. Right? And we get this nice, rich impulse response here. It's pretty long, so what we can do is we can go to the amplitude envelope, just shorten it up a little bit. I gotta wait a super long time as it loads. This is our little loading bar, and you can see it should be pretty much ready here. Great. So now we have just a much shorter one. We can also EQ out some of the lows here. This is a spectral EQ, so most of your frequencies are going to be grouped down here. Let's load that up again and see what we get. Oh yeah, so a key element of this is that there's actually two stages to the way that it works. What happens when you load a sample is it goes into the pre-IR buffer, and then when you hit load IR, it'll load it through all the envelopes and through the EQ and blah blah blah, and load it into the actual IR buffer, and that's where our convolution object is going to look for it. So what that allows us to do is to apply all sorts of envelopes, and every time we hit load IR, they're just going to happen from scratch again, because we're keeping our main sample as is, right? So got rid of a lot of those lows. You could do something with the pitch even, have a weird pitch envelope or a weird panning envelope. That also works wonders. So let's give that a go, and let's take a listen to how it sounds when it's done loading. Give it a minute. Oh. Doesn't sound like it's done loading. Cool, so we got something pretty weird there. And what we can do now is if we hit recurse, then that will load the IR buffer into the pre-IR buffer. So then we can reset all these envelopes, and we're just going to have the thing that we had before. Yeah, so let's just wait a second while this loads. It's pretty long now. Okay. So it should be pretty much loaded. Nice. And we can even maybe swipe off a bit off the end there. Speed it up maybe. And you can hit load while it's playing. It's just going to keep playing until it gets the right time there. And then the next thing that we can do here is we can load VSTs. So this free envelope is actually the envelope that controls all of these guys. And you click this to enable these. So let's go ahead and load a VST in there. Would be nice to have something like, for example, let's go with a reverb here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to recurse this, and then I'm going to press reset. So we got reset on all of our stuff. These guys reset on their EQ. I'm going to bring back some of those lows because I kind of missed them. And for the VST, we can hit load param names, and then all the parameters of the thing are here. And here we can use this one to control the mix amount. Now, this free filter, it might make sense to do something like this. And let's take a look at our VST window here, and let's see what's going on. So as you can see, if I move this, it corresponds to that knob. Let's turn this up super high because we've got our amplitude envelope taking care of that. Oh, no, we don't. We'll just go like this. Oh, we have our mix. I'm sorry, my bad. We have our mix envelope taking care of that. So that ought to do it. And you can use the mapping window here if you wanted to do something else. Like, so for example, say as the mix is going in, you want to inverse that envelope and use that to control the stereo width. Yeah, I mean, that might be cool. Let's do something like this. So like we're inverting it and squishing it by half. So now when we hit load IR, you can see those things all happen just like that. And you can see we're getting that reverb tail there, I think. So already we have something a little bit more interesting, right? We started with that source material, and now we have this weird forest sound, right? Pretty cool. So what we can do now is bypass that, recurse, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, amplitude. And what we can do maybe with the EQ is do some weird spectral effects. So let's zero this, and we'll just click weird places to get some weird sort of additive synth kind of sounds. Let's see how that sounds. Well, it looks pretty quiet. Pretty weird. So that's a pretty long way from where we started. Anyways, and that's all there is to it. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope I don't get sued. Thanks.